This is the UGREEN DXP 4800 Pro, a 4-bay NAS that does NAS stuff. You've seen me talk about these plenty of times on this channel. Oh, you've never watched my channel? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Anyway, it's a quality NAS with 10 gig networking, SSD caching, it'll hold all your data, run containers, do virtualization, but we don't care about that turbo nerd stuff. Today, we care about OpenClaw. Oh my God, that's what I'm doing a video on. Holy shit. Today we are demonstrating how we can get OpenClaw up and running on your UGREEN NAS so that you don't feel left out when your boomer parents are talking about AI at Thanksgiving this year. Jokes aside, OpenClaw is one of the hottest pieces of software right now because it was designed to provide actual tangible use cases for AI through useful skills, scheduled jobs, a simple UI, and integration with plenty of AI providers. Now, before we dive into setting this up, let me briefly explain how OpenClaw actually works. OpenClaw is basically just an interface or a service to interact with a separate AI provider. That's why you typically hear that OpenClaw can run on anything. That's not saying your AI can't run on the same device. That's an option too. So what OpenClaw is going to do is let you create scheduled tasks that can call specific tools or skills, which can run tasks and communicate that to you via your favorite messaging app. You can also talk to your OpenClaw instance via that messaging app, so this is great for all you parasocial weirdos. I'm just kidding. Okay, we clear on that? No? Great, let's get it installed. The first step before doing anything is figuring out what your AI provider is going to be. You can go with a paid option like Google's Gemini, Anthropic, OpenRouter, or anything using OpenAI's API. Or you can go with the self-hosted Ollama instance. The steps are relatively the same for all of these, which is just getting the API endpoint URL, then your API key. But me, as an intellectual, will be using my self-hosted Ollama instance running on my DGX Spark. So if you have Ollama 2, congrats, we're twins, sorry about your hair. To get OpenClaw, all we have to do is go into the App Store and type OpenClaw in the search bar, or for those of you that can't spell, just find the icon and click install. For setup, we need to create a passphrase, select an install location, so go ahead and make that before installing. Geez, thanks, Brett. Then you can select which directories on your NAS you want it to have access to, so don't select your nudes folder here. Unless, once you're in the app, the first thing you'll do is set up your model provider, which is literally what we were just yapping about. So for me, I'd select Ollama, enter my API URL, and since Ollama doesn't use keys, you can just enter anything here. But obviously, just select the provider that you're going to use. Once you're connected, you can add a model by clicking Add Model, where you'll then enter the exact name of the model, then the display name you want it to use, context length, which will vary by model or provider, then the max tokens, which you'll most likely want to match your context. Then select text unless you know it supports vision, and that's pretty much it. You can add multiple models if you want here, but when you're done, go ahead and set which one you want to use as a default. For most people, you'll probably just one of the popular 4B or 8B models from Qwen, Llama, Claude, Gemini, whatever. Unless you're running a big boy AI instance with specific use cases and want to spend a bunch of money, just go with something reasonable. Next, we are going to set up a channel, which is how you want to communicate with OpenClaw. So WhatsApp, Discord, Telegram, or Slack. There are more options available in the actual OpenClaw gateway, but these are the options presented via the UGREEN app at the time of making this video. I know, for your information, this app was just released like a few days ago, so I'm sure it has some updates coming pretty quickly. I went with WhatsApp because that's what I had installed on my phone, and Mark Zuckerberg told me that he likes my feet. So now I'm ready to get in there and make our AI overlords proud. Go ahead and click the Open OpenClaw button at the top of the window and enter the password you created on setup, and enter this in the gateway token box, not the password box because reasons. Now we are in OpenClaw, ready to party. Here is the part of the video where I admit before filming this video, I've never actually used OpenClaw before.
Brett, oh my God, what? You're such a beacon of modern technology and also really good looking.
I know. Crazy, but it's true. I actually wanted to try setting up a basic cron job that would send me a weather report every morning at 8 a.m. Yeah, nothing crazy, but I just wanted to see this working. You basically just go into cron jobs, give it a name, tell it when you want it to run, then give it a prompt of what you want it to do. It'll use that prompt to call the skills it finds necessary to perform the task, It's actually pretty freaking easy. You can see when I tested it, it gave me what I asked for. Now, the cool part is since OpenClaw is tied to that WhatsApp account, we can talk back to it. It's going to look silly since it looks like me talking to myself, but you get it. Sure, there's like a metaphor in there for AI. I asked it for some recommendations on some things to do, and it gave me some cool ideas in Dallas, which is 3 hours away from me, so I had to clarify that Spring was near Houston, not Dallas, and that seemed to help. Such a silly AI overlord. I then went directly into the chat and asked it to run a code review on a PR, which was pretty cool. You can then turn this into a cron job if you want to get all the PRs for the last day or so and send you a summary or something. So you can see a lot of the functionality outside of the basic AI chatting is done through these skills, and a ton of them are included with the UGREEN's install, but you can also search the skill store to find more features. I will note that you need to be careful here. Don't give OpenClaw access to anything that isn't necessary or that you don't trust. You see a ton of people giving it access to GitHub repos, their email boxes, and even passwords. And while that may be fine and may provide you with some cool use cases, just be careful. If you're generating API keys or creating users, give them the bare minimum access required. For OpenClaw install itself, you may want to consider just putting it in its own VLAN, isolated from other devices. Now, I'm not putting on my tinfoil hat here or anything, but I just have to make sure to say that. But yeah, the UGREEN DXP 4800 Pro is an awesome NAS for NAS things, and as we've shown, can even run OpenClaw, so check it out using the link down in the description below. Anyway, that's all I wanted to cover in this video, and I really do want to do a follow-up video where I cover more features in OpenClaw and do some other cool stuff, so let me know down in the comments if you want to see that, and subscribe so that you don't forget. I want to give a huge shout out to my YouTube members and my Patreons. You guys are my OpenClaw NAS that lets me make all the friends I want. Y'all are enablers. And if you're still watching, you're her. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.